Hi, thank you so much for watching. So today I've got a couple of projects that I'm in the midst of, and then the other one I'm going to be starting. And this isn't really like a how-to video, but it's kind of just projects I'm doing on my own, and I'm so excited about them. I thought I would share. So some of you know, because you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, that I've been making kombucha or whatever, and this is it. This is my my big Scobie inside with the kombucha on the bottom, and you'll see I have this note on the front. So have you guys, I can't remember, let's see, it's a it's like a Japanese guy. I think he recently passed away, but he was like a scientist, and he did this test or experiment. He took 3 jars of the same water from the same source. Jars were equal and, equally clean and all that. And they tested the water before they put the water in the jars. And what they were doing when they were testing the water is that they would freeze it, and then they would look at the ice crystals underneath the microscope. So the water was like from the Tokyo municipal water source or whatever. And when they looked at it, it wasn't really anything, it wasn't like the greatest looking crystal. So that was the water that went into the jars, and then on each jar they put a label. Like one said, "I love you," another one said, "I hate you," and then like the other one said, "Thank you," or something like that. And then they let them sit there where all the people in the lab were going to be seeing it every day, and looking at the label, and they were testing, like, does the feeling of when they read that label affect what's inside? And they found that it did. So after like a week of that, or I don't know the exact details, you'll have to look up the details if you want to know exactly, but after like a week or whatever, they took the water and then they froze it and then looked at the crystals under each jar. And the one that said, "I hate you," there was no symmetry in the ice crystals, and it was just like really ugly. There was like brown in it and everything. It was even worse than the original city water. And then they looked at the one that said, "Thank you," and it was like beautifully symmetrical, and with nice shapes and details and stuff like that. And then the one that said, "I love you," was even more like ornate and decorative, and definitely symmetrical, and just like really beautiful crystals. So that's pretty interesting. It's kind of funny because you know how like people, they'll like bless food and water and say thanks before they eat. That's actually a pretty, like, now science proves that that's like a good thing to do. So anyway, so I have on my my wonderful little baby here that I'm taking very good care of. It says, "All your dreams come true." So it's good to read, and I don't know if it's affecting it somehow, but I'm, when I, like in the morning, I'll get up and I'll look at it and I'll say like, "Hi, Scobie," I'll like talk to it like a plant. They also have studies where they would talk to plants or sing to plants or put plants next to music, and then they actually respond to it. So anyway, this Scobie in here, it actually is a living organism. So I like to treat it like a little pet, a very dear pet. And then underneath my "All your dreams come true," I have $42 million, because why the heck not? So anyway, so I hope it is positively affecting my wonderful friend Scobie here. And anyway, you might be wondering like, what the heck is a Scobie and what is kombucha and all. So you can see that there's brown liquid below, that's tea, and then there's something on top, and that's what I'm calling the Scobie. And Scobie is actually an acronym. It stands for I don't know, something like symbiotic culture organisms and something yeast or something like that. So it's kind of like yeast, like yeast is a living organism, and I mean, it's also what ferments beer and wine. You know, they have yeast in those. I don't know if they have yeast in wine, but it's the same kind of thing. But so it's fermenting the black tea that I made, and I put this black tea with sugar. That's basically it. It's really easy. And then the Scobie, the yeast organism, eats the sugar that's in the tea, and so it grows, and then it lets off gases, just like people, and that makes it kind of fizzy and or carbonated. That's the word I was looking for. And so it's like living off the sugar, and it's fermenting the tea, and the result is kind of sounds gross, like a fermented tea, like what the heck is that? But it's actually like super good for you. Yogurt is another like fermented dairy, right? It's kind of like yogurt, but it's with different materials. So it's got like probiotics, such as yogurt. It has I don't know, actually I was looking at the you can buy it in the store. It's really expensive, that's why you'd want to make it yourself. But it's got all sorts of things like electrolytes, polyphenols, which I don't know what that is, enzymes, probiotics. So anyway, it's really good for you. And there's like stories. It's from Japan, I think. So cha means tea, and then Kombu is probably this guy's name. But there's like a history or something where like this guy, Kombu, healed a king by having him drink just kombucha. So anyway, it's good for you. Plus, it's also tasty. It's kind of like I don't drink soda, but I have drank soda, and it's kind of like that with like, you know, it's like a little refreshing drink. It's kind of fun to drink. It's got the fizz in it, and but this one's like really good for you. So anyway, that is kombucha, and I've been letting this one ferment for about a week, and I'm ready to swap it out. So this tea is going to go into the canning jars, and then it will decant a little bit longer with the top screwed on to try to increase the carbonation. So this is the first phase of carbonation that is finished, and now I need to transfer it. If I didn't transfer it, it would keep fermenting and fermenting and fermenting. It would turn into vinegar. So so I'm ready to ferment this one, and this is I love doing this. I've only done it once, so this is my second batch. So I'm still learning. So you don't even put a lid on. It's just a coffee filter with some string around it, and I can already smell it. I'm so excited. So actually, I need to remember the first thing you should do is take 2 cups, because so after I get this kombucha out and like into the jars, this will be empty, and then I need to put the new batch in, which is just black tea with sugar. And then I put the Scobie on top. But to add to that, I'll take 2 cups of this, of this batch, and because it's slightly acidic, it will keep other bacteria from growing in the newer tea. Oh, let's see, what did I use last time? So if you're wondering what this tastes like, it's kind of like, it's almost like apple cider. So it's pretty tasty. You can let it sit longer and it'll give a little bit more vinegary flavor. And if you let it sit less time, then it will be a little bit sweeter. So I kind of like it a little sweeter. This is my second batch, and I've already tasted this. You can taste it before, you know, you bottle it. And the first batch I let sit for like 5 to 6 days, and this one I let sit, I think, like 7 to 8. So this one is a little bit more vinegary. I think I'm going to stick with 5 to 6, and it depends on like the temperature where you're at. So right now, what I'm doing actually now, well, okay, so with your Scobie, every time you make a new batch, a new Scobie grows on top. So like the Scobies just keep getting thicker and thicker, and you don't need that much. So I'm giving part of this to my neighbor Shelly. She's all interested to brew her own kombucha as well. So I'm giving her some starter stuff to put in her tea as well. And then I'm going to cut my Scobie in half, and then she can have that and put in hers. So this little bit is for her. And then that's my starter. So now, actually, before I keep doing this, I'm going to take my Scobie out of there. Let's see. I guess I'll just get the table dirty. I got like kombucha all over the table. Okay. And the first time I took it out, you know, it's kind of like a slimy thing. I thought, oh, it's gonna fall apart, but actually it totally stays together really well. It's kind of like a big rubbery pancake. Oh, it's got a lot of liquid on it. I'm gonna let it drain a little bit. All right. Oh my God, my Scobie, look at it. Look at my lovely little pet. It kind of reminds me of a, what are those called? Not manta rays? Yeah, manta ray. Kind of reminds me of a manta ray. When I was in the Bahamas, they have places where you can swim with the manta ray and like pet them and feed them at your own risk, of course, because they're still wild animals. But a lot of them, they'll come up and they'll eat out of your hand, and they're just like this flat thing, and their mouths are on the bottom, and you just, you know, put some like crab meat or something, and they'll just come up and they'll swim like this, and then you'll just start feeling their little mouths, you know, chomping at the whatever you got in your hand. It's so weird, but it's so cool, and it feels kind of like the rays did, kind of slick and smooth, a little rubbery. Oh, let's see, that one doesn't work. All right, so now it is just pure profit after this. And so once they are sealed in their new containers, then they can sit out for like even up to 2 weeks. I mean, it all depends on the temperature, right? So if you're brewing it yourself, you have to try, you know, each batch kind of make some adjustments. My last batch, I couldn't get it to, not ferment, I couldn't get it to carbonate as well. So I'm trying kind of different things here and there to see how I can make it a little more fizzy. So then there's my first bottle of this batch. So I have these. I love these. On my first batch, I used these. The second one, because I'm giving 2 cups to Shelly as well, I don't know if I'll have enough for one of these. But I got these at a thrift store. They were $2 each, and I was like, oh my God, I have to drink kombucha out of these. They just look so cool, and totally add to the kombucha experience. So all right, this one probably won't carbonate as well. Or I don't know, I'm still kind of learning, like, is a lot extra air better for carbonation? Or I know you have to have some air, so. All right, so that is the new tea. That is, I just boiled 3.5 quarts? Yeah, 3.5 quarts of water, and then put a cup of sugar in, and then dissolve the sugar, so then it's hot sugar water, and then I put 8 bags of just like regular black tea. And then I let it sit overnight because it's so hot. You can't put the Scobie in when it's hot. All right, so the next thing I do is I take my 2 cups of, you can call it just starter tea. It's just the last batch of kombucha that's a little bit acidic, and it keeps anything else from growing so that the Scobie can be the only one growing. And I'm going to cut this. Oh, it's not very cuttable. You're not supposed to use metal, but I don't have a plastic knife. It's pretty strong. Okay, I'm going to use a knife. I don't know what else to do. Actually, I found I have a plastic knife in with my regular stuff, so that's good. I'm sorry to cut you, Scobie. All right, that is her Scobie. I need to call her and tell her to come over. We planned it, so she's already got her tea made yesterday as well, and then let it sit overnight to cool down. Alrighty, then I put my Scobie back in to its little environment. Oh, jeez, okay, all right. There we go. All right, and now my 3rd batch is on its way. All right, so she picked up her Scobie, and her kombucha's going, and so is mine, and so I'm pretty excited. We're going to be sharing notes and stuff like that. Anyway, she gave me, we're always trading like project ideas and like little things and stuff. So she brought me these vanilla beans. I've never seen a vanilla bean. Anyway, they're called Gourmet Bourbon Madagascar vanilla beans, and she said you can make vanilla extract with them. So look at them, they're so amazing. I'm so excited. They're like these little canes. Oh man, they are strong. So to make the vanilla extract, she said you just need 1 cup of brandy, vodka, or rum. So I actually have brandy left over because I made sangria. I had a party with like all the neighbors and I invited them over, and I made sangria because I had just gotten back from Spain. So I was all motivated with all the sangria in Spain. Anyway, so I have brandy left over, which is great. Now I'd never drink it, so this will be the perfect thing. So all you have to do is just cut down the bean long way. And it is so cool. It's amazing. You can see all the little vanilla seeds. You know, vanilla bean ice cream? Those little black dots? Those are, like, these seed pods are full of those vanilla bean seeds. It's amazing. Anyway, for 8 vanilla beans, it's 1 cup of brandy or vodka or rum, whichever one you want to use. So I think I'm going to cut these in half because I don't want these popping up out of, because I think this is probably about 2 cups. Let me just cut them in half. And then you let it infuse for like 6 months, a really long time. So 1 cup of brandy. Once or twice a week, you just shake it up. So you kind of get it all shaken up. Cool. Haha. I'm so excited. Look at my homemade vanilla extract. Well, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Please like and share this video, comment. It really helps out the channel. Also, if you go check out my website at pippenings.com, I have an RV Living forum there, and there's a lot of really good information. You can participate, ask questions, you can answer questions, you can just read the questions and answers that are already there. I've got my blog there, and you can get my Keep It Simple bumper sticker. So go ahead and get one of those, and I will see you next time.